Hey, girl, hey. You are listening to the Cherry Lounge podcast, and I am your host, Tanisha Cherry. In today's episode, we're talking all about the small changes that have led to really big impacts in my healthy journey. You guys know the quarantine 15 or 20. I'm trying to lose this weight, and in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything that I've been doing over the last few months that have really changed my lifestyle and how I'm approaching losing this weight and sustaining it also. And I'll also be sharing a major big change that I don't know what to say, that I am now incorporating going forward. So I'm very excited to share, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Raise your hand if you have gained weight that you do not want during this pandemic. And I say that because I know a lot of people gained weight during the pandemic and they were very happy about it because they've been trying to and it's been a challenge for them. So they're like, yeah, I love this. But there are some of us, like myself, who have gained weight who are not loving it. And I'm talking to y'all. I gained weight during this pandemic. I'm going to keep it real with you guys, and I do not love it at all. Now, don't go asking me how much weight I gained. Mind your business. I'll mind mine. I wouldn't ask you, so don't ask me. I'm never going to tell until I lose it. I'll tell you guys when I lose it because then I won't be here anymore. Here, as in the state of carrying this extra weight that I don't want. It's been a very unusual time during this pandemic to try to keep up with routines. I had already been struggling with my weight prior to the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened and it just amplified it even more. My weight gain is a result of a huge decrease in physical activity and not eating enough. With the physical activity prior to the pandemic, I was walking to and from work about 4 to 5 days out the week if the weather permitted and if I didn't have any appointments after work. I was going to a lot of influencer events where I was standing up for long periods of time and also walking around a lot. I was visiting my family a lot more and I was also traveling a lot more. All of that, it wasn't forms of exercise, but I was just moving around a lot more where during this pandemic, I've been very much stationary. And I have a desk job as a 9 to 5, but this was taking the cake. My apartment is small and I live in a 1 bedroom apartment. And there's just really not that many steps from my bedroom to the living room to the living room to the bathroom. There's not a lot of steps in there. There was a huge decrease in my steps with the pandemic happening, especially because I've been working from home as well as being in the office. Seeing people at the beginning of the pandemic working out and eating healthy did not motivate me to do the same. It didn't. It motivated me to eat more. It also had me just sitting and watching a lot of stuff as opposed to living because things were closed and there was nowhere to go except for staying in my apartment. We're a year into this, and I definitely have made a lot of changes to keep myself healthy because I don't know how much longer of this we have. I don't know what the other side of this is going to look like. No longer being in a pandemic, no longer having to social distance, especially with the vaccines rolling out and people taking them. I don't know what our new normal is going to be. I do know that I don't want this weight on me anymore and we have to do something about it. And I also recognize that I'm not 20 anymore where I can go on a crazy restrictive diet for 30 days, where I can work out 4 or 5 times a week for a whole month and lose the extra 5 or 10 pounds like that, and then sustain that physical appearance or that weight loss, that numerical number for a couple years and just maintain it and then just do it again if something happens. Like my body just doesn't, it doesn't work like that anymore. My life has changed. That just doesn't work for me anymore. So I have recognized that and I realized that I have to approach this from a lifestyle point of view of doing things on a daily basis that are sustainable. Here are a few things that I have been doing. And I want to share this with you guys because they're all things that I feel have been super easy to implement and also stick to. So I want to share with you guys if you guys are having difficulties maintaining or getting started, whatever the case is, I want to share some of the stuff that I've been doing and hopefully it can help you or maybe it inspires a thought or an idea in your head that can help your situation. So the first thing first is I have been incorporating my Apple Watch into my outfit. My mom got me this Apple Watch 2 years ago on my 29th birthday. If you guys remember, I went to Miami with my girl Anaya, and my mom happened to be there as well because my cousin was graduating from high school. I loved it, but when I first got it, I really didn't use it a lot because I'm just like, I don't want to text from my phone, be able to check emails. I already have a phone for that. I don't need to do that on my wrist. Like, it's just too much. But during the pandemic, me and Carly really got into competing. If you have an Apple Watch, you may not know, or maybe you are aware and you just haven't tried it, but you can compete with contacts in your phones who also have Apple Watches. How it works is it's a 7-day competition where you guys set out your goals are for the duration of the competition. And every time you get further, or if you hit that goal, which means closing your ring for that section, you get points. And at the end of the 7-day competition, whoever has the most amount of points, they win that competition. The three metrics are the amount of calories you lost in the day, your standing hours, and then minutes of exercise. Me and Carly had got to a point where our minutes of exercise was like 60 minutes a day, 1,000 calories a day. It was really crazy, but it was very motivating because you can track the other person's physical activity throughout the day. So sometimes it would be 9 o'clock and I'd be like, Carly has already done 30 minutes of exercise. I need to get up and start shaking, honey, because she's not beating me this week. And sometimes I'd be up very late exercising for like, an hour or 2 hours at a time because I really wanted to close my rings at the end of the day so I could get the maximum amount of points, which is 600 in a day. And the most points you can get in the whole competition is 4,200. Sometimes I'd be like going into overdrive, but it was very motivating and it helped keep me on track. We kind of fell off a little bit, but I'm trying to get back on it for tomorrow. And I'll tell you why later in the episodes. But that's one thing that's been very helpful for me. Also, something else that me and Carly started doing was ordering these weekly salads for lunch. There's this company called Inspired Go, and how it works is they're based in Alberta. Because you guys know Carly's in Edmonton and I'm in Calgary, which is a 3 hour distance driving, about 2.5 to 3 hours. But how it works, it's kind of like those meal kit delivery services, except it's salad. So what they do is the salads are $9 each. And for example, you can order like a beet and goat cheese salad. You can order a Mexican burrito bowl. There's all types that you can order. It's one big, huge, like giant salad, and it's two containers. It's the salad, and then inside the salad container is also a container that fits at the very top where it's separate sections of all the toppings. In the main, it's the lettuce and the dressing in a container. And then, of course, the top one, as I said, is toppings. And you can opt to use all the toppings or not use one of the ingredients. And for example, I don't like olives. So in the Greek one, I don't use the olives. And I don't eat pork. So in the Caesar salad one, I do not use the bacon bits. And also in the Cobb salad, I don't use the bacon bits also. The great thing about these salads is that me and Carly have both. Carly full time works from home, and I am working from home about 1 week out the month. It's very easy for us to be working all day and not eat lunch. Like, time just goes by so fast. So we started ordering these salads because one, we're trying to eat healthier. Two, we're trying to get enough vegetables and greens into our daily diet. And three, it's the easiest thing to do because all we have to do is then just make the protein, which doesn't take a lot of time, and we can actually make a whole batch to go with our salads for the week. So that is something that's been really great. Again, if you're based in Alberta, it's called Inspired Go Salads. It's been amazing. I'm sure you've seen me post about it on my stories as well as Carly. It's honestly so good. And like every other day when we like try a new one, we'll be like, girl, you got to order this one next week. It's been amazing. Since we're on the subject of food, I want to go into how I've been eating outside of the salads for lunch, my other groceries that I've been doing. During the pandemic, I did link up with a girl based in New Jersey. I found her on Gray's Layers Instagram. She's her trainer and also someone that's been helping her with her nutrition, just eating a lot healthier and cleaner ingredients. Her name is Kayleen, and I'm sure you've seen me use the hashtag approved by Kayleen. She's amazing, and she's really taught me a lot when I was working with her at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. She really strives on helping her clients replace groceries with healthy alternatives. For example, a lot of us use oat milk, soy milk, coconut milk, and all this jazz from all these companies, and we think it's healthy. And if you actually look at the ingredient list on the back, they don't have the best ingredients in there. There'll be like 12 or 15. when I was working with Kayleen, she showed me this and I was like, ooh. And she's like, yeah, this ingredient actually causes you to bloat. This one makes you tired. Just all kind of stuff that she was educating me on. And it was really helpful. So, for example, with the milk, the dairy alternatives, she put me on to this brand called Milk Organics, where they have almond and oat milks. And for example, the oat milk only has about 3 ingredients: natural water, organic oat, like a little dash of salt. That's it. Now, if you go to Oatly or any of these other brands and you see how many ingredients in there and you start looking at them, you're like, I can't pronounce this. You have to Google it. It's too much. And it's actually being counterproductive. I know a lot of people are drinking them because they're lactose intolerant, which I'm not, but I know some people are also consuming them because they feel that it's a healthier version and it's actually not really that much healthier. That's something to keep in mind. For my Canadian people that are listening, I'm sorry, but I found out today at the grocery store that Milk Organics has actually pulled all of their products out of Canadian retailers, so you won't actually be able to find it here anymore. If you do find it, stock up because they won't be getting a restock. But if you live in the United States, if you go to any sort of health food store like Trader Joe's, Whole Food, or any of those places, you'll be able to find them there. So definitely check that out and see if that's something that makes a difference. I also became a part of the Organic or Die crew because I pretty much just buy all my stuff organic. That's just what I'm going to do. It's just what I'm going to do. I know for some people it's a heavier expense, but I do live by myself. I am buying food for one. So to be honest, versus when I'm buying organic food versus non-organic, it is a bit of an increase, but it's not a lot for a person that maybe has a family of 4 or 5 people. But that is something I'm okay with. I prefer to buy everything organic, and that's just what I've been doing. I always drank a lot of water. I gave up juicing pop many, many, many years ago. When I was even living with my mom, I stopped drinking soda pop for my American juice because it's just not good for you. So I became a hardcore water girl. But during the pandemic, I started the routine of drinking kombucha right before bed or a glass of water with lemon in it. I started drinking organic teas in the morning. And then also, if I needed something just to like give me a little different taste than water, I started incorporating organic coconut water. So those are the beverages I have been drinking that I have liked and I have continued doing. I don't work with Kayleen anymore just because, she taught me everything that I needed to know. For me, the next step was the physical exercising, which I'll get into it a little bit here. But she's based in New Jersey, so it just doesn't work. She was sending these videos. I need something more hands on. Like they were good workouts, but I need something more hands on. I need someone to be more on top of me where I can't cheat my way out of it. That's the only reason if you're wondering, like, okay, well, why aren't you still working with her? It's because I learned everything that I needed to. I have her nutrition guide that I can use as a reference when it comes to eating. But at this point, I am focused on the exercise portion now, is what I need help with. The other thing that I want to add on, that when I was working with Kayleen, she had me monitoring what I was eating through MyFitnessPal. She wasn't monitoring the amount of fat. She wasn't using it to count calories. She was really using it to monitor how much protein and fiber I was getting every day. And one thing that I recognize by doing that is that if I am not tracking it, I can easily not hit a normal daily intake for protein and fiber. So that's another thing too, that you may want to try the MyFitnessPal to track what you're getting in terms of protein and fiber. Tracking my meals through MyFitnessPal really brought that to my attention, that I need to incorporate more fiber and protein in my diet. And I was able to learn through Kayleen really easy ways to do that. Having a cup of raspberries, adding a cup of green peas into like my recipes, flax seeds into smoothies, collagen, all kinds of things. That's something definitely that you may want to try out that may help you. Some other things that I started doing with her is taking some vitamins and supplements. I started taking collagen, probiotics, and fish oil. There were a few other things that she recommended, but I know myself, I'm not about to take billion pills a day, no matter how good it is for me. It's just too much sometimes. Knowing myself, I stuck to these three and I've been able to stick to it. Taking probiotics increases the number of good bacteria, which can detoxify your system and help you absorb nutrients more efficiently. Collagen makes up about a third of your protein in your body. Your body produces less collagen starting in your 30s, and y'all know I am 30, so we're trying to replenish some of that. Fish oil says that it can increase your metabolism, reduce hunger, increase the number of calories and amount of fat burned during an exercise, both of which may help you lose weight. And we're trying to do everything to lose weight here. So if it says that it's doing all these things that ultimately help me lose some of this fat, then hey, We welcome it. And those are the three that I have done. Definitely, if you're going to take any supplements or vitamins, do your research. And then, of course, incorporating eating out once or twice a week. You know, I love eating my weekly Captain Boils. I love it. It's seafood, it's amazing. I'm never giving it up, but I only eat it once a week. And sometimes I do skip a week depending on how I'm feeling. It's my one meal that I look forward to. And then on Saturday, I will order takeout again. But a lot of the restaurants, especially downtown, are very much like family style shared portions. It does create leftovers. So I'll eat that again for Sunday for dinner. I want to make sure that when Monday comes, I'm back on track with my salads for lunch, my breakfast, and whatever I make that's healthy for dinner. I do encourage people to incorporate eating out at least once or twice a week because it's something that you can treat yourself to and look forward to. It's like a reward. It makes you feel better about it. And it's a good, healthy balance. And this is honestly really about balance, you guys, not doing anything crazy that you can't sustain. Hey, loungers, enjoying this episode? Make sure to take a screenshot and post to your IG stories tagging me at Tanisha.cherry and at Cherry Lounge Podcast to let me know what lifestyle changes you've made during the pandemic that you think can be helpful to anybody listening. Or let me know if there's anything in this episode that you're going to incorporate as a part of your lifestyle change. Back to the episode. When I do eat out, I have stopped doing delivery and I'd started ordering pickup. One, I save a delivery fee. Two, I can tip the restaurant. And three, it allows me to get outside the house because I definitely have gotten into the habit of going to pick up my food, and I get to see people and say thank you and hi, put a face to a name. Getting into the exercise portion, there are a lot of different ways you can work out from home if you don't have access to a gym or you can't afford one or you just don't want to spend the money. A really good free alternative is YouTube. YouTube has a huge directory of amazing workouts that you can use with things that you already have in your house, like, canned goods, those individual water bottles, maybe a gallon of water. If you have dumbbells or kettlebells or medicine balls in your house, you can find a YouTube video for any exercise and any level. So that is a good free resource. Another resource that's really good that is paid is Apple Fitness. Apple had dropped this at, I think, February of this year. It was when they dropped this. And what's really cool about it is it hooks up to your Apple Watch if you have one. You can see your rings closing. You can see what your heart rate is. You can see how many calories you burned with the exercise, and it connects you with the workout that's happening. I don't know if they still have the free trial, but at the time when they first launched it, they had a 30-day free trial, which I thought was really great, and I got a lot of good use out of it. That's when me and Carly were competing hard, so I was using those workouts to do them. The longest workout they have is 30 minutes, and they have it split in between beginner, intermediate, and I believe advanced, depending on where you are in your workout for that particular genre, maybe. And then they have all kinds of workouts like Pilates, HIIT, strength training. They also have yoga. They have some mindfulness, breathing, stretching. It's really good. I like the workouts. The funny part about it is when I'm doing the workouts, they don't even feel that hard. But then, like the next day or right after, like I feel the burn. It's amazing. So, that's something you may want to check out if you want something outside of the YouTube. Something else that you can do that is a lot more low intensity is going for walks. I can't remember who it was that I came across on Instagram, but they were showing how they lost about 15 to 20 pounds in 3 months just from doing 10-kilometer walks every single day around their neighborhood. And I thought that was amazing. And I'm just like, everybody can walk. Like, walking is amazing. I can do this. So let me do it. So I did start doing it and I was doing it with my friend Ryan. It has gotten a little bit colder outside. We haven't gone on a walk in a while, but that is a really great, easy form of low intensity workout. And it allows you to not only get some fresh air and be able to, burn some calories and get some movement into you, but then you get to have a buddy there to touch base with. And it was a really great time. I feel like me and Ryan really got close during our walks because we were seeing each other like sometimes 3 or 4 times a week for 2 hours at a time because we were walking like 8 kilometers around our neighborhood. It was a great way for us to connect about the content creator world, business, giving each other tips and advice, to vent about things, talk about personal problems, goals that we have. It was honestly a really good way for us to get to know each other better and really be a support system for each other. So that is something I would definitely recommend to people to incorporate if you're able to. And it's nice. I honestly got to become a lot more familiar with my neighborhood during our walks. Something else that happened to me during this time was normalizing talking about food and positive changes. Me and Carly do this a lot. We always talk about like healthy new things that we made or just something really good that we made. I feel like we both have a really good, healthy relationship with food. It doesn't scare us, it's not something that, we're obsessed with. We just have a really good, positive relationship with food. And I think that's very important. And we have a positive relationship with it. Talking about our relationship with food with other people, which is really each other. And it's been really great. The biggest thing, if you guys have missed out on, is having a positive support system and someone who can help keep you accountable and on track, but who can also be very nice about it. It can be very daunting at times to have people like make jokes or negative comments about it. It sets you back and people don't realize it, but it certainly does. Another thing is my friend Dion, like he'll tell me he's going to the gym or we'll talk about things that we're doing fitness wise or if we're going on our walk. I took him on one of the walks that me and Ryan usually go on. It was just me and Dion though. And he's like, girl, this is a workout. You be going for walks this long? And it's just, it was something nice to share with him. It was something else that we can do together. If he ever comes back down here, Dion, I know you're listening to this. Bring your ass back down to downtown, honey. But it was something really great for us to do. And when I see him going to the gym or I hear him going to the gym, like if he mentions it over text message, that motivates me and keeps me inspired. When I see my friends doing positive things and seeing the results on them, it makes it more tangible and like believable that I can do it as well because I know someone personally that is doing it and is seeing great success. That always makes me happy. And then the last thing was 8 hours of sleep and going to bed earlier. 8 hours of sleep has been a game changer, at least 7 to 8 hours. But when I get that amount of time, I am productive. The next day, I'm staying on routine. I just feel like I can do it all. So getting a lot more hours of sleep has definitely been a game changer. And you have to recognize that your body gets to rest. It gets to repair itself from, all the things that you have it do throughout the day in those 8 hours of sleep. So when you're talking about how you only got 3 or 4 hours of sleep or you're living on 2, you're running your body ragged and you're depleting its ability to do anything for you for the next day. So keep that in mind, folks. Even with doing these changes, I had to be real with myself and recognize in order to get the body I want, I need help from someone that has the proven experience to help me. As I said in the beginning of the episode, I want to share with you guys, I have found a personal trainer. I haven't worked out with her yet, but I'm working out with her tomorrow. So when you guys are listening to this podcast episode, it'll be the same day. And I'm very excited about it. I have been wanting to work with a personal trainer for the longest time, but I always thought it would be too expensive. Her prices align with mine. She comes highly recommended by another influencer, content creator friend that I have who I have seen working out with this girl for like months and months and end. Her body is banging. She talks about how motivating and how positive this trainer is. And I love it. She's female. I don't have to worry about her being icky or making me feel uncomfortable like sometimes men can do because some of them can't control themselves. And then I also feel like with her, it's really about helping me meet my goals and making me happy as opposed to it being a huge money grab. I'm happy to be starting with this girl. It's so funny because she's like, I do free consultations. And I was like, girl, I don't need a free consultation because I'm ready to just dive in. I know this is going to be good. I have a good feeling about you. I see myself getting all the results I want. So I'm very excited. And that is the new thing that I'm doing to keep myself healthy and get those body goals that I want. I hope after listening to this that you guys are able to take away a couple things from here to start incorporating into your everyday. I'm not expecting you to just do the whole list. It is a lot, and I didn't start doing all these things at once. These are things that I started doing maybe 2 at a time, 1 at a time, and now it's come to a point where these are things I do regularly. I don't expect you guys to do that. If you take away one thing from it, then that's fine. If you take away nothing and just listen to this whole episode and you just feel very optimistic, that's great too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Cherry Lounge podcast, where you'll find a new episode every Monday at 6 a.m. Mountain Time, 5 a.m. Pacific, and 8 a.m. Eastern. Also, don't forget to leave a review and hit me with them 5 stars, you guys. It helps me out a ton, okay? And it also lets new people that are discovering me know that these episodes are popping and they need to listen. So make sure you hit me with them 5 stars and a good review, what your favorite episodes are, something meaningful that you really took away from it, or if you just want to show me some love. For more real-time content, head over to my Instagram at Tanisha.cherry. Follow me on there as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tanisha Cherry. I'm out, y'all. Toodles!